Yo, what is up everyone? Ozzy over here from Player Essence and welcome to another PE Nintendo Switch and gaming news video. Today we have some awesome information for you guys like always, so let's go ahead and get right into it. So the PlayStation 4 sales, as far as worldwide, have topped 70.6 million, and PlayStation VR tops 2 million in sales, with over 617.8 million PlayStation 4 games sold as well. So let's go ahead and get into this article. Shoutouts to Gamatsu. So PlayStation 4 has cumulatively sold through more than 70.6 million units to consumers as of December 3rd, Sony Interactive Entertainment has announced. In addition to the hardware, more than 617.8 million copies of PlayStation 4 games have been sold to retailers across the world and through digital downloads on the PlayStation Store as of the same date. As for the PlayStation VR, the virtual reality headset has sold more than 2 million units, and 12.2 million copies of the 150 titles released for PlayStation VR have been sold at retailers across the world and through digital downloads on the PlayStation Store. We are delighted that so many people are enjoying the unique entertainment proposition of the PlayStation 4, and that emerging technology like the PlayStation VR continues to gain traction, said Andrew House, chairman of Sony Interactive Entertainment. I cannot thank our fans and partners enough. Their support since the launch of the very first PlayStation in 1994 has helped make PlayStation one of the biggest console gaming network in the world. We will continue to work closely with partners to maintain this momentum and remain steadfast in making PS4 the best place to play. So this is an outstanding achievement for the PlayStation 4, especially when you have a lot of people out there saying, oh, consoles are dead and this and that, mobile, smartphone gaming, there's no place for a dedicated console, and the PlayStation 4 says, oh no, that's okay, there's definitely a place for us to be here, and they're doing a fantastic job when it comes to just selling the system. Even VR is gaining traction with their fan base. Now, it's still not anywhere near big time, and I do think that maybe one of these days it might be up there, but I honestly feel that VR is really just going to be a niche market until we get stuff like HoloLens. I think HoloLens, that has the potential to kind of go further. So if they can ever evolve the technology of VR to kind of be more like that without the big bulky headset inside your room doing this and looking crazy, then I think that that can go places. I just don't feel that VR is going to be that. But I do feel that there's always going to be a market for a system like the PlayStation 4. At least when it launched, it was the most powerful, blah, 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 all of that stuff. People are always going to want that. Developers are always going to want to see that console succeed. Therefore, it's going to get a ton of support from the developers as far as the tools and everything like that. So this is great news. This is great news for Sony, and I'm glad that they're doing really well. My PlayStation 4, I haven't played it in too long. It's been a little bit. I've been trying to get into more of PC gaming in addition to the Switch is just taking up all my time. But shout outs to Sony, man, for putting out this system and selling 70.6 million units worldwide. I'm pretty sure it's going to top out at over 100 million when it's all said and done. So that's very successful. That's PS1 level success right there. Probably not going to catch the PS2, but at least they can get the PS3 and they can get the PS1 probably. So what do you guys think about the PlayStation 4 sales topping 70 million units worldwide, in addition to VR topping 2 million as well? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Alright, and moving into the next article here, we have a rumor that Scribblenauts Showdown has been spotted on a Taiwanese ratings board. And shout outs to Nintendo Life for the article. So Scribblenauts is a franchise that has been popular on Nintendo systems since the days of the Nintendo DS, and I actually remember that back when it first came out. Though it hasn't gotten a new entry in a number of years, after failing to meet sales expectations, after the development studio, Fifth Cell, had significant layoffs and Warner Bros. Canceled its then upcoming Scribblenauts game. It seemed that the franchise was dead in the water. However, now there's evidence that seems to point towards a new Scribblenauts game on the horizon. Nintendo Everything found a listing on a Taiwanese game rating board for Scribblenauts Showdown, which was listed for a multi-platform release with the Nintendo Switch included. The listing has been taken down at the time, but perhaps Warner Bros. Is deciding to give Fifth Cell another chance to get the franchise off the ground now that some time has passed since the last release. As ever, take this with a grain of salt until the official announcement, but don't be surprised if this one does show up in the next Nintendo Direct or in a trailer or something like that. So let's talk about this a little bit. Scribblenauts Scribblenauts is a franchise that I never really got into. I tried to get into the Wii U one, there was a Scribblenauts game on there, and it's just not something that I enjoy. And for those who don't know, Scribblenauts, basically, you had to like solve like level puzzles, you know what I'm saying, by using words. Like you scribble down words, and whatever you scribble down becomes available, like a chicken, and then you'll see a chicken. So it was interesting, and it was unique, and it was innovative for its time, especially on the DS, because you use the stylus to kind of put in the words or type in what you want, and then that comes up on the screen, you know. And they even did like a superhero one or something like that, or like Marvel, I forgot what it was. But either way, I mean, it was cool for the time that it was released, but then I think people just got kind of burnt out on it because they continued releasing them and continued releasing them, and I think the series did need a little bit of a break. It needed a little bit of a break. And I think that maybe this one here, this Scribblenauts Showdown, whatever they're planning to do, it looks like it has a cool theme, showdown, so maybe you can have some multiplayer battle against someone in a battle of the scribbling. But I do feel that maybe it's time for this franchise to come back, and a lot of people do love it. It was a multi-million seller at one point, or it was a very high seller. I know it did well at one point, but I just think that they kind of milked it a little bit too much, and they didn't put enough innovation from title to title. So it's been a while, it's been a few years now, more than that. And I think that maybe they have some good ideas, so I think it's perfect for this franchise to come back, especially with the PlayStation 4, Switch, Xbox One. You've got systems totaling past 100 million units at this point, so I think now is the right time, and I think it can definitely be a hit on the Nintendo Switch, that type of game anywhere you want. So I think now is the best time to bring it back. So we'll see what happens here. Let me know what you guys think about potentially having Scribblenauts Showdown or Scribblenauts franchise come back. Would you be interested in this type of title? Let me know in the comment section below. All right, and moving into the next article here. Sony's head of corporate says they can't ignore the Nintendo Switch and its success. So the following comes from a Nikkei interview with Kazuhiko Takeda, Sony's head of corporate planning. Here was the first question. So it's possible Sony could exceed its profit forecast? Here is the answer. At the moment, we can say with certainty that 630 billion yen is achievable, but even our strongest operations have issues to be tackled. Our greatest risk now is losing our intensity. Here's the next question. What sort of issues? And here is the answer. At our gaming business, sales of the PlayStation 4 are strong heading into the holidays, but we can't ignore the Nintendo Switch, which has also captured consumers' attention. Our business model involves selling both the game console and the software for it, so we're working to get more customers paying continuously for content, for example, through paid subscription services. So that was a very interesting response to what he said, because really, they didn't even ask him about the Nintendo Switch. Like, he brought up the Nintendo Switch. Like, I just thought it was funny that they were like, okay, well, what sort of issues are you having? Then, oh, well, the Nintendo Switch is the problem. Like, we gotta talk about this Nintendo Switch. It's gaining consumers' hearts and attention. We need to do something. Oh, well, more paid subscription services. Yes, that's what's going to be what it is. Getting more people to pay for a subscription. That's what we're going to do. And obviously, he's not going to spill the beans as far as what they're going to do if they're planning some type of rival platform for it. But I just don't think, going back to everything, especially with this whole rumors that were going around that one person started, that there was going to be like a PlayStation Portable announced, like a new PlayStation Portable announced at one of Sony's recent press conferences that they did, or big events that they did, which never happened, by the way. Just games that were announced. And there's nothing going to be at the PlayStation Experience here. That's not happening there. But maybe going forward in the future, maybe Sony kind of goes back to the drawing board, and in the future they develop something. But the problem, and I've always seen this, the problem is that Sony, the portable fan base is just not there. They have to create games for it. They can't just create a portable device and expect third-party developers just to bum rush it with games. I mean, they got lucky with the PSP, right? They got lucky with the PSP, and that did happen with that system. But then PS Vita came out, and they expected the same thing, and that did not happen. So they have to really want to be in the portable space if they're going to do something like that. You can't be halfway in, you know, dip half the toe and then kind of come back out. You know what I'm saying? You have to be in or out, and I think that's why Nintendo just said, you know, let's just make a hybrid, you know, so we don't have to worry about splitting the base and splitting the resources, having this game go here and this game go there. So it's worked out for Nintendo. Don't think the same would work out for Sony. But that being said, it's not even like he said that they're going to be doing that as far as a new PlayStation Portable. He talked about other things there, so I'm just going to go ahead and take it at face value. But I just thought it was interesting that that he said that he's like, oh, well, the Nintendo Switch, and we need to do something about this, even though they've sold 70 million million plus PlayStation 4s, because just recently, like, Andrew House was like, oh, well, yeah, the Nintendo Switch, we don't really have any issue, you know, like, it's a different market, kinda, you know, we're not into that. You know, he made it seem as if it's so nonchalant, like, hey, you know what, we're not even worried about them. Then all of a sudden you have this corporate head of planning, basically. So the guy who's really into the nitty gritty when it comes to what they're going to do, what they're going to do in the future, what's going on 3, 4, even 5 years from now. And so this dude's over here saying, oh, well, you know, the Nintendo Switch, we can't ignore it now. You know what I'm saying? So obviously maybe he's probably a little bit more wired than some of the other people out there, since he needs to plan things, and the success of Sony kind of somewhat goes through him too. But you know, it is what it is. Let me know what you guys think. There was a lot of discussion on this topic, so I wanted to give my 2 bits on it. So what do you guys think about this? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, in addition to everything that we talked about. All right, Ninja, that wraps it up for this video here. Go ahead and check out the links in the description below. We've got Facebook, we've got Twitter. Go ahead and give us a like and a follow on our social media. Also, make sure you check out our Patreon and YouTube live gaming page and consider supporting Player Essence. When you do so, it gets you access to all sorts of cool benefits, perks, rewards, emotes, and all of that. Hit that like button if you did like this video. Lets me know you guys want more content like this going forward in the future. And subscribe to Player Essence for the latest RPG, Japanese, and Nintendo gaming news. Thank you so much for watching. I will catch you for the next video. Peace.